Hey everybody, it is Mr. Fleischman. How you guys doing? I am at a training right now, so I am not going to be able to be there this morning. If you have any questions for me, come after lunch. I'll be back at about lunchtime. So today I wanted to kind of like make this video for you guys to try while we have our substitute here. Go ahead and open a new code pen, and we're only going to use HTML and CSS. It was something I thought about. I really wished I would have shown you this really cool kind of idea. Okay, so here's our goal for today. I'd like to create something that looks like a little animation or a GIF, okay? So go ahead and start a new code pen. We don't need any JavaScript today, but when I get back Thursday, we'll probably do it on JavaScript and show you how to do it that way. We're just gonna use HTML and CSS, okay? Let me make sure I have, so my font is like big enough for you guys to see everything. Okay, it looks probably pretty good. So please feel free to pause the video at any time, okay? So yell at our substitute, or please pause it, whatever, just slow down, whatever you need to do. Okay, so let's go ahead, and what we're going to need is a Sprite Sheet. If you guys have heard of a Sprite Sheet, that's what we're going to go grab. So go to your browser and find Sprite. Ooh, I like it. Sprite Sheet single row. Sprite Sheet single row. Okay, so we're going to use these as kind of like a film reel, if you can think about it. We're going to make one of these come to life. Okay, let's all pick the same one for the sake of having. There's going to be some math involved a little bit. So let's kind of pick the same one so we don't screw up like numbers, because they're all different sizes. Let's pick the same one. It needs to be all in a single row. Mega Man, that would be sweet, but I'm just going to pick one real fast. How about this one? What is this? Is this cool at all? It's like a rolling pig or something. No, that's too weird. Here, let's back off one. Let's go. How about this walking dude? That looks fun. Okay, how about this? Okay, that looks like it'll be fun. Okay, so if you can kind of picture what we want to do, we would like to use this little guy as like a film reel. And what we're going to do is create a little window, okay? And that's going to be our div. And what we're going to do is pretend like this little sprite sheet is on a piece of paper, and we're holding the window still, and we're pulling that sprite sheet to the left. So it's like revealing different guys as time goes by. Right? Can you picture that? A little window that shows only one guy, and as we slide the piece of paper to the left, it reveals the next guy, and it reveals the next guy, and next guy, and next guy. Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. Okay, so let's try this. Let's go ahead and make a div and close it off. Okay, and what I want you to do is go ahead and create some CSS for the div. And you might, at some time in the next couple minute or so, you might want to pause this to make sure everything looks legit. Okay, so let's give this div plenty of height. Now, how about I don't know, 500 pixels? That sounds reasonable. And let's make our width, I don't know, how about 1500 pixels? Yeah, sure, 1500 pixels. All right, so right now the div is there, it's just white. Okay, it's kind of boring. So you could actually, if you wanted to, you could choose a background, right? A background of, say, red, okay, and this will show up. And there it is, right? So there's our exciting div that's red. We don't want to use red for the background. What we want is actually, we want our background to be the result of a URL. Now, what's the URL? It's from our sprite sheet. Okay, so background, and it's going to be a dash. Background dash image URL. So what is it? Okay, we'll go to our sprite sheet that we've selected here, and let's go ahead and copy image address from it. Okay, we've done this a million times. Put that image address inside quotations, and we have our guy. Okay, it looks like it's too many, right? So our div is too big. Our div is way too big, actually. So when the div is too big for the background, by default, it will repeat the background in an X manner, and it will repeat it in a Y manner. It's kind of like tiles. It'll just lay them like tiles, and it's way too big. So let's just get this as big as the sprite sheet. Do you guys know how to find out how big this sprite sheet is? Well, it's actually kind of cool. Actually, the dimensions are up here. We got lucky. We got really lucky. So the dimensions of this are up here. If you want to find another one, here's how you do it. You would just right click and inspect. And you can see within if you look in here, it's kind of like hard to see. The width and height are actually, look, actually this is the better numbers, okay? If you go into inspect, you can kind of see, right? The width, 520, height, 114. It's in the information of the document that we can inspect at our leisure. The width 520, height 114. Let's go ahead and do it. Ready? Width 520, was it? Width 520 pixels. Height height was 114, excuse me. 114 pixels. Right, there we go. A lot of semicolons flying around. All right, so you know what? That wasn't quite right. Let's see. I just want to make sure we're good here. With 100, I want that image. The image attributes. Okay, there it is. Do you see it? It's 600 by 132. I'm sorry, I was pointing at the wrong thing. So yeah, these numbers on the tab were right after all. 600 by 132. So 600. Let's make it 600 pixels and 132. So just to let you know that you can find these numbers in your inside the inspector. Okay, and you might have to be creative and be a little smarter than me. I was grabbing the wrong numbers. So I think what I saw was the shrunk down version of the div or the image tag. Okay, how about this? So does that look right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. Do we have 8 guys? We do. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so hopefully you have this. Pause the video if you need to. Here is the CSS, and go ahead and pause it if you need to. All right. All right, so we're back. So here's what we want to do. Do you guys remember these keyframes animations? Actually, you know what? What we need to do is actually make this smaller, okay? This window is way too big. So there are 8 guys. So if there are 8 guys and 600 width to do it, how wide is each guy? Let's try this. Let's take 600 and divide by 8. That gives me 75. Okay, so each guy is actually 75 pixels. So can we change the width of this div to just 75 pixels? There we go. So now we just have a guy. The rest of the guys are actually there. They're just kind of like they're after the div has ended. They're kind of behind here, like hidden, and the div is ended like right here. So did you know if we take some time real quick and change the background position? Watch this. Well, each guy is 75 wide. So if I want to reveal the next guy, I would pull the background, the sprite sheet to the left by 75 pixels. Can you picture that? I want to pull it to the left by 75 pixels. And watch what happens. It revealed the next guy. Did you see that? And if I go to negative 150 pixels, it would reveal the next guy. And the next guy, and the next guy, right? So can you kind of see that? So what we're going to be changing with our animation, with our keyframes animation, is background position. All right? So let's try this. Watch this, okay? Animation. And what do you guys want to think? The animation could be called, why not? Let's call it walk, and that's our choice. We get to choose that, okay? Let's have it take like 1 second to complete, and let's have it be infinite. Okay, now this isn't going to work right away because, can you tell? It's not walking, it's not walking. Well, we haven't actually defined this walk, okay? Here's what we need to do. After the CSS, let's say at keyframes. Remember, this is where this is a CSS supported feature. We get to make these animations. You just need to say at keyframes first. Ours is called walk. We've done these before. Hopefully this isn't totally foreign to you. We're going to do a from block, and we're going to do a to block. Okay, pause it if you need to. We would like to go from background position from 0 pixels where it is by default, which is like, you know, the first guy. And then at the end of the animation, we would like to have background position. We would like to have moved this guy all the way to the left. The whole width of the image, so negative 600 pixels. Now watch what's about to happen. Okay, you can you kind of see it? It's like you can picture that image is sliding through that div, and you can really almost visualize that window now. Now the problem is it's way too smooth. Like what I wish I could do is like only show the window when the guy is perfectly centered in the middle of it. There's a way to do that, and some really smart person thought of this. Right after walk, what you're going to do is write the word steps, and then in parentheses, you're going to say however many guys we have, 8. Look at that. So it actually is now only freezing on the guy right as he's in the center of the frame. And look at that, now he's walking. It's doing what it was doing just a second ago. Steps just means how many things do you want me to break this up into? I'm going to run out of time here in this video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys when I get back.